Charli XCX says there are no diss tracks on her Brat album in a 2024 video. With the recent release of Taylor Swift's new album, The Life of a Showgirl, fans have been sparking debate about possible diss tracks between Charli and Taylor on both Brat and Taylor's new album.
I see online that some people think that there are diss tracks on Brat, and I just wanted to come on here and clarify that there aren't, apart from maybe Von Dutch, which kind of is, but...
Taylor Swift just dropped an album, and I think Swifties have to admit that this was not her best. This album did not land well at all, and you can still be a Swiftie and admit this was not it, for many reasons. For one, the album is very tone deaf, extremely tone deaf. There's hella microaggressions in the album.
You guys, Taylor Swift's obsession with Easter eggs is very much alive, as she just dropped sneak peeks of lyrics from her upcoming album. Her 12th studio project, The Life of a Showgirl, is slated to drop worldwide on October 3rd. We have to get into this because the internet seems to be really up in arms about it. Now, for those who know Taylor, you know she isn't a stranger when it comes to dropping little Easter eggs ahead of her album. Last month was when Taylor announced her 12th studio album during an appearance on her fiancé Travis Kelce and his brother's podcast, New Heights. Since then, Taylor has been keeping fans in the loop about her album and its different editions. The official release will feature 12 tracks with no bonus songs and will include only one featured artist, Sabrina Carpenter, on the title track.
This is my brand new album.
We got TS12, baby.
This is my brand new album. It's called The Life of a Showgirl. It was something that I was working on while I was in Europe on the Eras tour. And
so while you were on tour,
I was working. I would be
How
on tour.
on earth did she do this on the tour is still blowing my mind.
I just love it. I just love it a lot. I love music. I would be playing shows. I'd do like 3 shows in a row. I'd have 3 days off. I'd fly to Sweden, go back to the tour, and actually like working on this. I was physically exhausted at this point in the tour, but I was so mentally stimulated and so excited to be creating. And this is...
And literally living the life of a showgirl.
I was.
While she wrote it.
That's why I called it that.
About her album, Taylor said, and I quote, "I'm so proud of it. And it just comes from like the most infectiously joyful, wild, dramatic place I was in my life. And so that effervescence has come through on this record. I wanted the album to feel the way my life felt. And this completely matches the way that my life has felt." Now, talking about the album's theme, Taylor explained that it's all about what happens behind the curtain, which is a concept also reflected in the album covers. The track titles she revealed suggest a similar focus, exploring the hidden side of glamour and fame. One of her earlier covers even shows Taylor lounging in a bathtub. She said, "This represents the end of my night. My show days are the same every single day. I just happen to be in a different city, and my day ends with me in a bathtub. Not usually in a bedazzled dress. I wanted to sort of like glamorize all the different aspects of how the Eras tour felt. And that's how that felt to be at the end of the night when all of this has gone down." So all of this, of course, has got fans buzzing with excitement and speculation. Before the release, Spotify actually hosted a pop-up experience in New York City on Tuesday, giving fans a taste of potential lyrics, but you guys, the reactions were mixed. The pop-up had it all: photo ops, themed rooms teasing the album's vibe, exclusive merch, and a lot more. It was a 3-day event, and let me tell you, Swifties didn't waste time spotting the first lyric from the album, scrawled in what looked like peachy orange lipstick on a mirror. And it read, "Oftentimes, it doesn't feel so glamorous to be me." The lyric even made it to Times Square, and of course fans immediately flooded social media with the viral picture. However, there are many people that believe this was a PR move and this lyric was intentionally placed on the New York Times Square billboard. I'm sorry, but this is corny. I'm sorry, I'm really not trying to just snark on everything, but my eyes just rolled to the back of my head. Read The Room. After nearly half a decade performing in sold-out stadiums around the world and accumulating more than $1 billion in wealth, she buys a billboard in the mecca of American capitalism to declare onto us mortals that actually it's not so glamorous. You know it's optional, right? We've been litigating Taylor Swift's fame for a decade now, since Reputation, on albums and documentaries and Time magazine covers. It is no longer interesting or even remotely relatable. She's already done it better than this. Is this lyric not essentially, "Hi, I'm the problem, it's me," in essence? I root for her, I really do, but after this cash grabby rollout, I'm actually stunned at how unself-aware she is at this point. It's giving narcissism narcissism. And let's just say everyone and their grandma has something to say. The internet is in full commentary mode and it's giving opinion overload. Specifically, this line about the pop star life not being as glamorous as it seems, some fans took it as Taylor complaining about what they see as a privileged lifestyle. Social media quickly erupted, and many people even went as far as to call Taylor tone deaf and accuse her of cosplaying the struggle of wealth. One person wrote, "Taylor really said being the highest paid pop star alive feels not so glamorous. Yeah, I bet flying private to your 18th mansion must be rough." Others even pointed out her net worth being like it's $1.6 billion. This person said, "Taylor Swift really cosplaying the struggle like her Eras tour grossed less than $1,000. What an odd thing to say considering what most people are going through today." Another top comment reads, "Even if that turns out to be a great song, this is an awful lyric to lead with PR-wise. It's tone deaf. There's a lot of us that work jobs that feel like a prison for a hell of a lot less. If you hate it so much, step back. She could still have a successful career songwriting for other people. If Taylor thinks her life isn't glamorous, mine must be a sitcom. Aw, poor baby, she can sulk and count her millions. Pick me, final boss. Of course, victim Taylor, always poor me, girl hasn't had an original thought in decades." This person said, "Poor billionaire. It's so hard being a billionaire with fame and power. Even if it's followed up by a cheeky lyric acknowledging the fun of her life, I'm kind of tired of this lazy acknowledgement of fame being a prison like she doesn't love it, lol. Her Rhode Island house alone is my rent 1,000 times over. And she loves the fame. She didn't want the quiet life and to be hidden away. One thing I know about Taylor for sure is that she likes being famous." This person said, "Same woman who wrote, 'Did you hear my covert narcissism? I disguise as altruism like some kind of congressman.'"
It does not sound good. So before I get into the tone deafness of it and the microaggression, I feel like Taylor Swift was influenced or inspired by Sabrina Carpenter, right? Sabrina Carpenter, she does sing in her songs, but she does a lot of like talk sing where she's just talking. The lines are very simple, short, and it works for her. Raunchy, it works for her. I feel like Taylor Swift tries to do that, but that is not her sound. And it just came off, especially with the beats, the melodies, just came off theater. Like, is this a Taylor Swift album or am I listening to Hamilton? Okay, like obviously not all the songs, but enough for me to make that observation. Now, some of the messages in the songs, the lyrics, they just were not. Okay, I think we all can admit that Taylor Swift has privilege as a white woman who is a billionaire. Okay, who the president is does not really impact her life. So I think there's some tone deafness, especially with the song Canceled. I Like My Friends Canceled because she hangs out with a lot of MAGA supporters, right? And I just don't think that was good. You're basically saying I don't give a damn that they support MAGA. I like my friends problematic. I like them to support genocide and racism because it doesn't affect your life. And one of the things I did not like is that people were saying she endorsed Kamala Harris during the election. No, she didn't. She said, "I'm voting for Kamala Harris. I encourage you to do your research and vote for who you think is the best choice." No, an endorsement is saying, "I'm voting for this person because XYZ, you should too." I just think there's a lot of tone deafness in that song. Then the microaggression. "I'm not a bad bee. This isn't savage," whatever. It gave very much, I don't know if you're insecure about the fact that your man, his past relationships, his past girlfriends don't look like you. Like he has a history of dating strictly women of color, and now he's with like a very white country girl. Like, I don't know. It just gave, a lot of the lyrics gave microaggression towards women of color. Like, I know I'm not like what you used to have. I wasn't feeling that. And lastly, I feel like, some of the lyrics were a little bit immature, okay? You're in your mid-30s. You don't need to be talking about high school prom, nothing childish anymore. You have enough songs reminiscing, okay? I feel like a lot of artists who have been in the game for a long time have this problem like Drake. Like, why are you 40 years old talking about sticking in that girl's college dorm room, right? Like, your lyrics should mature as you grow and experience different things in life. It's okay to reminisce, but you already have a hell of songs like that. I don't know. The album I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, period. But y'all be saying that she's up there with Beyonce, and it's just not giving that.
I will say though, there is a ton of people that are excited about this album to drop nonetheless, and they are waiting in anticipation. People are just kicking their feet and they just cannot wait to listen to all the tracks. But let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.